Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drake Wayne Gaming. Sub me on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Sileo, Ty's Path. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Alright. Indeed, it is obscured by the mountains to the south of us. Perhaps if I knew I would be in the company of two Somervillians, I might have chosen another spot. I suppose that would defeat the purpose. I did choose this location deliberately, after all. You may not be able to see Somerville, but you may be surprised to learn what you can see from here. Looking outward, I could see little but the sprawling open farmland miles below us stretching as far as the eye could see. But vaguely on the horizon, I could make out something else. Do you see it, Hunter? Yeah, I think so. Surely you of all people know what it is. I took a moment to ascertain my orientation. We had driven north from Woodcrest and walked nearly exclusively towards the east, as confirmed by the sun's position overhead as it gradually fell forward toward the horizon. I scratched my chin. So many tall buildings, so very far away. There was only one place that it could possibly have been. Sidonia City. No way, but doesn't it take a whole day to get there? Indeed, via train, although that route is hardly the most direct. Even then, you could reasonably expect 3 or 4 hours by car. Thankfully, we have clear skies and our elevation on our side. It is not always possible to see Sidonia from so far away. Now, if there are no objections, I propose we set up camp here. Sunset will arrive in short order, and believe me, from this vantage point, you will not want to miss it. Yep. Like, 0 objections from me, dude. Hunter. It was a moment that felt almost profound somehow. Here I stood atop one of the highest points in the entire country, surrounded by new friends and the man whom I was so deeply infatuated with, staring upon the visage of the life I had only just left behind. Doing what I'd done, throwing my entire life away and just running away. It was such a risky and foolish move, one that so easily could have backfired and left me homeless, or worse. And yet, I was so unbelievably happy. I beamed to myself. My crazy gamble had paid off big time. I had mustered the courage to dive headfirst into the unknown, leaving behind a familiar misery, and I had no regrets. Not a single one. Hunter, are you happy if we set up camp here? I couldn't think of a better place. Thank you, Ty. This is amazing. Ty smiled warmly while gently stroking the fur on the back of my neck. Then, each of us removed our packs and began unloading our supplies. Within my bag, I carried some food items, cookware, various odds and ends, and finally 2 sleeping bags, of which one seemed almost peculiarly large. Ty's pack contained more food and cookware, a large tent and a large black carry bag containing an acoustic guitar. The prospect of him playing music for us was an exciting one, but we had to remain focused on the task at hand. Russell's pack contained Axel's tent, sleeping bags for them both, even more food and cookware, as well as some other various items, including Ty's flashlights. And finally, Axel's pack contained a number of different things, including the equipment we would be needing to start our campfire, all of it utterly drenched in river water. One second, y'all. Water time. Alright, y'all, and we are back. Let's jump back into it, shall we? Alright. Indeed. It is obscured by the mountains to the south of us. Perhaps if I knew I would be in the company of two Somervillians, I might have chosen another spot. Did I... Huh. Okay, yeah, that's weird. Alright. I took a moment to ascertain my orientation. Yeah, because I had already gotten past that part. I guess I must have just forgotten to save it. Anyway, I took a moment to ascertain my orientation. We had driven north from Woodcrest and walked nearly exclusively towards the east, as confirmed by the sun's position overhead as it gradually fell forward toward the horizon. I scratched my chin. So many tall buildings, so very far away. There was only one place that it could possibly have been. Sidonia City. No way, but doesn't it take a whole day to get there? Indeed, via train, although that route is hardly the most direct. Even then, you could reasonably expect 3 or 4 hours by car. Thankfully, we have clear skies and our elevation on our side. It is not always possible to see Sidonia from this far away. Now, if there are no objections, I propose we set up camp here. Sunset will arrive in short order, and believe me, from this vantage point, you will not want to miss it. Yep. Like, 0 objections from me, dude. Hunter. It was that moment. Okay, alright. Okay. I beamed to myself. My crazy gamble had paid off big time. I had mustered the courage to dive headfirst into the unknown, leaving behind a familiar misery, and I had no regrets. Not a single one. Hunter, are you happy if we set up camp here? I couldn't think of a better place. Thank you, Ty. This is amazing. Ooh, excuse me. Ty smiled warmly while gently stroking the fur on the back of my neck. Then, each of us removed our packs and began unloading our supplies. Within my bag, I carried some food items, cookware, various odds and ends, and finally 2 sleeping... I already got that part, yeah, okay. Yeah, alright, Axel's back, okay. That's where we left off. Oh dear, that is quite the shame. I'm sorry. No, please do not apologize. I assure you it is quite alright. But how will we start the fire now? You can't go camping and not have a campfire. Did you bring any spares? I'm afraid I did not. Thankfully for us, where there is a will, there is always a way. Might I request that the two of you finish setting up camp? Sure thing, my dude. What have you two got in mind? Hunter and I will head into the nearby woods to see what fire-making materials we can conjure up. Hopefully we will not be gone long, but I know not how lucky we will be. Sweet. Sweet. Not having a fire would be a total bummer. I'm glad you know what you're doing, man. Good luck! Well then, Hunter, shall we? Definitely. I'd like to get a fire going before it gets too cold out. The two of us departed from our camp, heading over to the dense woods situated on the opposite end of the campsite from which we'd arrived. Water time. Oh, that is so good. Cherry lemon. Tropical cherry lemon. As the two of us wandered through the woods side by side, I realized that I really didn't have a proper idea of the sorts of things needed to start a fire. So, forgive my ignorance, but what exactly are we hoping to find out here, and how do we know when we found it? Ty stopped dead in his tracks, sniffing the air once again. He turned towards me, his expression that of someone who has run out of patience. I know this is sudden, but I wanted to ask you something, and it is going to sound strange. Huh? Oh, sure. Would you be uncomfortable if I checked your scent? Wait, what? Why? Please, I need you to humor me just this once. Did he think that I was the source of that strange scent he kept catching? No way. Wouldn't he have recognized it right away? Is it because I didn't shower after I swam? I was confused, but I did not see a good reason to refuse Ty's request. Okay, what do you mean to do? Just hold still. Ty quickly knelt down and began sniffing around my waist. He worked his way backwards, sniffing around my tail and my butt. He spent quite some time in that general area before his search brought him back around to the front. His pattern seemed to work in a wide circle, gradually locking in on a specific area, the exact position of my junk. His nose then grew closer and closer until I could feel it brushing against it through my pants. Finally, he reached his hand up, slipping his claw beneath the waistband of my underwear before pulling it outward and inhaling deeply. His eyes seemed to drift out of focus as he emitted a deep, low growl. I was beginning to grow a little, at least a little concerned. Thankfully, he would regain his senses somewhat after only a few minutes and stand back up. I knew it. I knew that was you I could smell. Gee, is that bad, huh? I'm sorry. I guess I thought that with camping and all that, I was going to smell no matter what I did. I guess I should have had a shower after all. What? Oh, dear Hunter, I did not mean to imply that you stink or anything. Quite the contrary. I find your various different scents to be rather pleasant. Eh? What do you mean various? I first picked it up when we were walking. The wind must have blown from just the right angle, and I got a nose full. It seemed out of place. Somehow because I could have sworn it was a scent of arousal. Thinking back, I remembered that I had gotten slightly aroused not long before he first picked up on something. But now? But how? There was no way, surely. How the hell do you know that? Oh man, how embarrassing. I really hope Axel was telling the truth. Surely your nose cannot be that much better than mine. On the contrary, it is my understanding that between the four of us, yours should have reigned supreme. But it is quite normal for the brain to tune out one's own scent. I am not surprised you did not notice. Then what about Axel? If you could smell me, surely he could too. Now, I can only speculate, but I would not expect our noses to differ greatly in terms of their capabilities. However, a lack of sensory exposure, or training, if you will, could provide an explanation. Oh my god, that is so good. What do you mean? Perhaps canids work a little differently, but for us felids? Well, let me explain it like this. No matter how many clouds there are in the sky, they will only ever mimic the shapes of that which you are already familiar. What? Apologies. Such riddles rarely stick the landing. An untrained nose is little better than static on an old TV set. You have to already know what it is you are looking for. And you knew the scent belonged to me? It was one of very few possibilities. Excuse me. But I did not know for sure until only moments ago. I see, and now that you've confirmed it, I take it you'll have an easier time recognizing it next time? I certainly expect so, and eagerly look forward to it. Ty and I shared a smile, and I thought about all that I had learned. Thinking back, the only scent I could properly recall from Ty was that of his cologne. I was unfamiliar with Ty's natural scent, and now? It's as though I was missing out. Is there something the matter, my dear? I guess it's dawned on me how little I actually use my nose. The way you make it sound, I've been missing out. Well then. Might I promise a small contest? Huh? Here, take these. They should help even the playing field somewhat. Ty reached up to his face and removed his sunglasses before handing them to me. Confused, I put them on my face. It isn't that bright, you know. That is a good look for you, Hunter. But that is not why I gave them to you. Oh? I sheepishly took his glasses back off, turning them over in my hands. What else does one have to do with a pair of sunglasses? Might I suggest that you give them a good whiff? Oh, right. Duh. I held Ty's glasses up to my nose and inhaled deeply. I processed for a moment. I sensed something. I inhaled again, this time the scent coming through a little more clearly. Huh? I exhaled, flattening my lungs before committing to a long, steady inhale. Was this it? Was this Ty's scent? Did I have it? And here I was thinking you spent so long down there just because you're a horny bastard. It actually kind of works that way, huh? Oh dear, I am insulted that you think so lowly of me. Although I may have enjoyed an extra moment or two at your expense. I fucking knew it! You were nosing my balls for the thrill of it! Well then, perhaps if you win, you will have the opportunity to return the favor. I plan on doing a lot more than that. My curiosity certainly is piqued, although perhaps you would like to know what we are doing first. Go on then. The objective is simple. Think of it like a hide-and-seek, with a twist. You close your eyes and count to 30, and I will hide somewhere close by. You then have 3 minutes to find me. What? How am I supposed to do that? You have an item bearing my scent. Use it. Track me, and do not forget about your other senses either. You'll be needing them if you wish to find me in time. I didn't like how he ended that sentence. I swallowed nervously. A tiger versus a husky? It hardly seemed fair, especially in the orange hues of their early evening. Just what did he mean by in time? Alright. What happens after 3 minutes? I begin hunting you. The winner is the first to capture the other. How that is achieved matters not. Winner takes all. Winner takes all? What does that even mean? It means whatever the winner wants it to. I knew this was a bad idea. Even with a 3 minute head start, how was I supposed to track him down? I could barely track my own breakfast, let alone a tiger who actively wishes not to be found. We're really doing this, huh? Is this not a good opportunity to find out just what you have been missing? I sighed. Ty seemed intent on playing his games with me. I strongly doubted this was going to go well, but what the hell? Okay, I'm closing my eyes. See you soon, my dear. As I silently counted the seconds in my mind, I heard Ty's footsteps travel further and further away until I could no longer make them out. As my counting continued, I held Ty's sunglasses up to my nose and began working to acquire his scent. I sniffed repeatedly as I turned and rotated the glasses, making sure I got every angle. 28, 29, 30. I opened my eyes. Ty was nowhere to be seen, as expected, but from what I had heard, I was all but certain he had started out traveling northeast, and thus I began heading in that very same direction. While walking, I made sure that my nose was constantly sniffing, hoping to pick up something familiar. At first, it almost seemed pointless, my nose completely failing to return any useful information, but then, the very same scent I had acquired from the sunglasses, it traveled directly south from my position. Huh, what do you know? Perhaps Ty really was onto something here. I began to follow the scent, moving briskly to avoid wasting precious time, a mistake that only cost me more when I had to double back and reacquire the trail. I followed more carefully as the scent turned a hard right around a rotting tree trunk and down a small dip in the terrain. Alright, y'all, I'm actually going to pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'm going to give a quick shout out to our lovely bronze tier patrons. Thank you all for all you do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Cade Silvermoon. Thank you going a bit above and beyond. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you to our gold tier patron, Teresm Guy. You're awesome. We love you. Thank you for subbing to Ultimate Tier. Anyway, if y'all want to get your names in the credits, get access to all of our not safe for work contents as little as $5. Alrighty, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!